guys.
Hi.
Thank
Hi,
you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for doing this call with me.
Of
of
course.
course.
Do you want to, that was hilarious. In perfect harmony. Do you want to tell the people who you are and what you do?
I'm Shay.
I'm Barry. And we run a business called Fitness Career Mastery together. We serve fitness professionals and business owners. Ultimately, we want to help get more people moving, and we realized we could do that best by helping business owners do what they do better. So I really help business owners get their brand strategy clear so they can attract more people in.
And I help elevate their experience so that they can keep them there. And I also create systems for onboarding, training, nurturing, development, review, like performance reviews, to I'm so sorry. My mom, they're being so loud. Are you gonna edit this? No. We're also parents.
We can edit it, but it's also real life, and your business owners are your parents and
Yeah, my
life.
mom and my child are in the other room singing songs very loudly. And I have mom brain. But yeah, I create systems to help them grow their team and scale their business and get their time back, really, so that they're not juggling 10,000 things at a time. But ultimately, it's messaging, get them in, experience, keep them there.
That's amazing. You guys are like the magic power team for fitness studios and trainers.
Definitely.
So, yes. So what, if you remember, if you remember, what was going on in your business when you decided to join me and do the grown-ass business VIP experience?
We knew we had a really good product. We know we're experts at what we do, but we were seeing this cycle in our business where we had this huge windfall, lots of clients, and then this really big dry spell. And we just felt like we didn't have enough clarity in how we were going about executing, attracting new clients and serving them.
Yeah, we felt like we were on a hamster wheel. And I saw one of your videos and it just really spoke to me. I was like, I don't know if I have a business. and we do. We have a very strong brand and we have a very strong product, but I would say like the systems that support that were weak. We didn't have any of that, and that's why we needed you.
Okay. Yeah, you did the Chaos to Clarity workshop.
Yeah, and I felt like we were in chaos.
Yeah.
And we needed clarity.
Yeah, I think I remember you when we spoke. I remember because you said this because I wrote it down. You said it feels like feast or famine.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So tell me, what was your experience like in the process of building out these systems in your business? What came up for you? Did you have any like aha moments? Were there any surprises?
You just made it so much easier than I thought it was going to be, and made it really simple.
I was surprised by how simple it was. I think you talk a lot about looking at numbers and how that feels scary, and that definitely feels scary for me. Maybe not.
Yeah, intimidating.
It's
for me.
intimidating. And one of the first things was like, oh, this is like a game and it can be really fun and empowering. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. And it still feels like I still have some of those old feelings, but I can see myself getting closer and closer to being like, oh yeah, this is just what you do without any emotion.
Yeah.
Right? Like feeling emotional about the whole process. Like you gave us structure so that we can remove that part of ourselves and just focus on what needs to be done. And I also loved that we had big blocks of time to work together. And it wasn't like an hour here and an hour there. It's like we'd meet on a day and get it done. And you say it all the time. You walk your talk. You're like, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. I'll be back in an hour. I'm going to go do another coaching call and I will come back to you in an hour and do your homework. And we're like, okay. And I liked that. It felt really good because we're busy.
Yeah.
And our plates are full, and it felt really nice to have that space carved out and to be held accountable.
Yeah, if Gab was a cereal box, it would say 100% bullshit free on the front.
It's like no fluff, no bullshit. Yeah, it was really
Yeah,
good.
because a lot of coaches will give you 1,000 videos to watch and hours of homework. And I was just so impressed at how we got straight to exactly
Yeah.
what we needed, what you told us, what we're missing, what systems we needed. Are we doing this right? Like all the answers we needed when we needed them.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much. I'm so glad that you were saying it because I actually think about this all the time. A lot of times we make a program to make the program seem full and
Yes.
fancy, and we make it thinking about being impressive, and we make it more about ourselves than what the client actually needs.
Totally.
Exactly.
And so that's why I was like, I know what a lot of coaching programs are like. I know what a lot of business coaches do. And I was like, we don't need to do any of that stuff and any of the excess. We're just going to get in there. I'm going to do the work with you. We're going to do it in real time so that you have your systems and plan built out. And we're cutting out the fluff.
But I also like that it's not, there's no done for you. It's done with you because you're teaching us, you're coaching, but you're also teaching us so that we don't have to rely on you or someone else all the time.
Yeah.
Right? We have a really good foundation. And then when we need another kick in the pants, we know who to call. Right?
Yeah.
But we're not like handicapping ourselves in your hands,
Yeah.
which there are a lot of coaches in different areas that will do that to you. And coming from fitness background, it's like really important that we have that like self-efficacy and that like autonomy and power to be able to do something for ourselves moving forward.
Yeah, I really believe just in business in general, before you delegate something to somebody else to free up your time, you need to at least understand what that thing was and kind of have an understanding of how it works before you delegate it. So that's why I do that I've done for you in the past, and then it doesn't really work because the owner is not empowered.
Right.
But then you guys start to understand, you're like, oh, right, this is this and this is that and this connects to that. And you start empowering yourself. And that is like what it's all about. What would you say are some of the biggest results? I mean, it's been a very short period of time so far, but what are some of the biggest results you've had, biggest takeaways from the experience?
The answer for me is you do such a great job of filling us with confidence in who we are and what we do. And just that alone is going to allow us to take such bigger steps forward because we're confident in those steps and also have the systems in place behind them to back it up. But I think that's such an incredible superpower of yours. What were you saying?
Well, yeah, well, this is like sort of separate, but yes, I agree with you. And this speaks to like who we are in the business. Like Barry is such like a visionary and needs words of affirmation. And and I am a systems thinker and you do both, right? So I really love having a place to go to where I can look at the biggest thing for us is the sales projections and having a clear path to being able to like meet our goals. Whether we are or not now is irrelevant. We know what we have to do to get to that place and we know that we can get there. Like we have the way, and that fills me with confidence knowing that even if we're not doing it, I can see what's not working and what's working. And I have absolute confidence that it's possible. Whereas before I was like, I don't know how we're ever going to do that. And then along with that, one of the things that I love specifically about you is your ability to like really speak the truth with very clear, like very raw truth that is like backed with kindness and care. So you like can give us a kick in the pants, but like the kick sends you upwards very clearly, and that
And not down.
and not down. Like that is a very, very, very rare gift, right? Because somebody can call you out and you walk away feeling defeated and feel like, I don't know what to do, or I'm failing. Or people blow smoke up your ass and make you think that you've got something because they're just like, that's not an issue for me. And, or that's not what we're talking about, or whatever the deal is. And then you have this like false sense of some kind of security. And so I just like the ability to fill us with confidence and then back it up with the way to do it
Right.
is,
Nailed
it's
it.
like a one of a kind of a thing. It's very rare.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope my husband did not hear in the other room that I give you words of affirmation, because that's going to get me in trouble, Barry. Because I don't do it in my life. But that's good to hear. And that's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And another result that you've had, you have put out some really big contracts out into the world, which are going to close. And that's going to be
Yeah.
game changer for you guys. So I always have to say that.
Yeah.
And if you were talking to somebody who's like, I'm thinking about doing the Gap Accelerator and I'm not sure, what would you say to them?
How serious are you about getting your shit in order?
Yeah.
Are you ready to get in a rocket ship? Are you committed to taking this as far as you want it to go?
Right.
Because if you're not, then you got to wait. But if you are, then buckle in.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say, because I think a lot of people fear, like there's that uncertainty of like making that investment, not just of the money, but the time and the energy when you're running a business. Perhaps you're a busy parent or whatever else is going on in your life, all of the responsibilities that you have. And at the time that we decided to work with you was very sticky and very scary. We were in a famine. We were not in a feast going like, yeah, we've got this extra time and money to spend. It was like, crap, our back is up against the wall. And this is not the first time that we've done this, like where we've been like, oh, shoot, where we need to do something. And I think if you're in a place where you feel like things are a bit uncertain and chaotic, and maybe your back is up against the wall, you have to trust that by like taking this step and getting on the rocket ship, that like you're going to see results. Like you're never not going to see results. I think particularly when you're in that place, and that actually means that you're ready to do it. And you've got a coach with like really good systems to support you. Like if you put the work in and you show up,
Yeah.
you're going to get something out of it. It's very unlikely that you will fail or that it won't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've had very, like, while we were working with you, we had very successful months. We set ourselves up to be like for the next wave. I think going back to more clear results are leaning into the cyclical nature of our business and
Yes.
making
Understanding
better
it, making peace with it, making
and not
decisions.
freaking out about it or thinking that something's wrong with us or something's wrong with our industry, understanding that that's actually how it is. And how can we capitalize on that? How can we maximize the feast? And how can we rest in the famine? Or what's the work we do in the famine?
Right.
So that it like evens out at the end of the year and we feel good instead of deflated. That's defeated and deflated as one word.
Depleted. I love it. You've made up a new word. Amazing.
Depleted. I'm tired of feeling depleted.
TM.
And I think
Right.
because of what we said before, we have like some really big contracts, big contracts on the table. And like the confidence to be able to go after
More
like
of those.
the bigger fish, right? And keep growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you. I will never forget when we were talking about that contract and what the number should be. And I said, what would be the number you would resent?
Yeah.
And you said a number.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And I said, you said a number, and then you were like, which is the number I was thinking of charging?
Yeah. And now that I've actually sent the contract out, that's what an idiot.
And I'm
Yeah.
so glad we had that conversation.
Yeah.
Because you were about to charge a number you would have resented. And I'm so glad I asked that question.
Yeah.
Because
Me too.
we like tripled that number.
Yeah.
And now they're actually it's in process. So
Yes.
thank you so much, guys,
Oh,
for
thank
this
you so
conversation.
much.
I love you so much. I really love you both and love working with you and love supporting your business. And I'm excited to keep working with you and
Yeah.
to keep seeing the
Yes.
growth. And also just thank you for taking the time to do this. I appreciate
course.
it.
Of course.
You're so
Thank you,
welcome.
Sally.
Thank you.